Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Pokegemzart. Alright guys, another fun, easy tutorial. Guys, in today's video I will show you two different ways to write your name in a very cool geometric way, guys. Super easy video, but before we get started, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, that way you guys won't miss out on any future videos. Alright, today's video is going to start out pretty simple. We are starting out with a basic piece of paper, a ruler and a pencil. We're going to draw one line kind of on a slight angle going upwards. Guys, I'm not doing any measurements for this because it honestly doesn't really matter how big of an angle you go. That's what I like to look at, you know, give or take that kind of angle. Then from your first line, mark down 1 inch downwards because you basically want a second line underneath that to kind of match that one. So that's why I say the first one doesn't really matter how big of an angle you make it, as long as the second one, then that one you will have to measure because you want your second one to match your first one. So if that makes sense, measure down. Now I decided to use my name, Gabriel, and the reason why I write it out right here is just to give myself a visual and tell myself, okay, Gabriel has 7 letters, so I'm gonna do the R in the middle, and I have 3 on the left side and 3 on the right, just to kind of visually, you know, make sure that it's spaced out evenly. So I know that my R is in the middle, so that's what I'll do is I'll start out with the R, make a nice big R, and as you guys see, that's the reason why I made those initial guidelines, is you want your letters to be nice and straight, and then you're basically going to use that guideline. As you guys see also, I am using pencil for this one because a lot of this will be erased later, especially those guidelines. Alright, now we've got to do the B right over here, and I'm trying to keep it pretty much even between the lines so that later when they're erased, they're all really nice and even. Alright, we've got our A here, and then also your G. So feel free to use whatever letters, guys. You can use block letters. I just kind of chose a simple looking letter like this. I think the most important part of this particular project is just to keep it spaced evenly, and then later I'll show you guys how to do a really simple shadow just to kind of make it look like, you know, it's kind of popping off the page with a simple shadow. Again, with colors, guys, choose any color you like. I don't know why, but I chose red for this one. I'm using marker. You can also use crayon. You can use colored pencil. Guys, it really doesn't matter for this particular one. But if you like to use the red, I choose red. Blue is another good color that looks nice too. Alright, next thing we'll do is quickly go ahead and erase all of our pencil. Like I said, that's why we started with pencil, so we can erase all of that. Next thing we'll do is just give it a slight little shadow. So picture that there's a sun in the upper left hand corner dropping a little shadow onto your letters. So you see how I'm using my charcoal pencil and just giving it that slight little shadow on each edge right here, just to make it look like it's kind of standing up on the paper. I'll give a little bit of shadow to the edges of the letters, primarily on the left hand edge. Again, make it look like a shadow coming off. You could leave it right there. What I chose to do is do a little bit of smudging. What I'll do is I'll use my cotton swab just to smudge it slightly. Guys, super simple, 2 minutes, and we've got it pretty much done. I think that was pretty nice and easy. Alright, here's another way to do it. I'll show you guys something a little bit different. Let's do one more. Alright, this particular one, we will draw basically a line across our paper, on a slight angle going upwards, and again, 1 inch is underneath. I know my ruler happens to be 1 inch thick, so that's why I use the top and the bottom of the ruler, but of course you can feel free to measure it out and use 1 inch on either side. So basically you're going to end up with 3 lines like this, 1 inch apart on each one. Like I said, you don't have to use 1 inch. You can make it thinner, make it wider. I'm going to use this nice large Sharpie, and again, I'm going to use my name, Gabriel, and you're going to write it out almost like a calligraphy look. So you're going to keep one edge a little bit thinner and one a little bit wider. And you know what, guys? If you're good at calligraphy, you don't have to make the guidelines. I'm not a calligraphy expert, so I feel that, hey, anytime a line can help me, you know, it always looks really nice and straight, especially if you use pencil, you know, when you can erase them at the end. Alright, so we've got our name written on top. Now what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to flip your paper over upside down, and you're going to write the same letters, but here's the trick. You're going to write them kind of backwards on a slight angle, if that makes sense. So picture the G, so picture almost like a mirror image. Pretend there's like a mirror there. And again, I'm gonna use my charcoal pencil because I'm gonna do a little bit of smudging. So there's my G, so picture that it's smeared, that it's got a backwards mirror. So kind of going up like that, and then keep them on a slight angle because again, later we're gonna make it look like it's coming off the paper with our shadow. All right, there's our R backwards there. There's our I, our E, and our L, guys. And like I said, just picture it looking, you know, that it is coming off of it backwards. All right, next thing we're gonna do, guys, I'm gonna erase those guidelines. This is a little secret I taught you guys before. If you wanna get a nice sharp erasing, hold your pencil down, hold your ruler down. That way you can get a really nice sharp erasing, you know, without going over anything that you don't want to go over, especially when you're using the charcoal pencil because it is so easy to smudge that. If you're erasing over a permanent marker, not a big deal, but if you are erasing over other pencil or even crayon or charcoal, be really careful with that. All right, so we have our basic sketch here. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna tighten up my shadows a little bit. I really like to use that charcoal pencil. So go ahead and use the charcoal pencil here. Check out, guys, this other project that I have here in the upper right hand corner. This is another one that I really highlight and use that charcoal pencil. I think you'll like this one, so come back later and click on this other project that just showed up here. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just kind of tighten it up. I'll go over it just a little bit more, a few more times with that pencil, just to give it a little bit thicker of a line. And then later we will do our smudging too. Alright, guys, like I always tell you, with the smudging you've got a couple different options. You can use your finger, you can use the smudging cloth. In this case, I chose not to use the smudging cloth again for the same reason as on some projects. It sometimes tends to be a little bit too thick, and I find that a little piece of cotton on a stick, hence the cotton swab, works really well, guys. So I think this is probably the easiest thing, least expensive thing. I think these things are like a couple dollars for a pack of a couple hundred, so feel free to use the cotton swabs. They really work well to draw shadows. Alright, guys, basically it. I think you guys had fun on these two projects. Super simple. We used a couple different pencils, couple markers. We used our cotton swab, we used a ruler, an eraser, and our charcoal pencil. Guys, if you liked this project, if you want to see any others, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, take a look at my TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I do post there every single day. Check out my website, guys, pokegemz.com, where you can get some merchandise if you'd like. And again, if you still haven't done so, please hit subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications. Don't forget our daily live broadcasts, and I'll see you on the next one.